Mr. Mack-Poole, 3-minute history, Salt 2, let's get salty! So what were the causes of Salt 2? What was Salt 2? And what was its consequences? And why was it so limited? So, what does détente mean? Détente means improving relations between two formerly hostile countries, i.e. America and Soviet Union. Now, in the 1970s, the relationships between the Soviet Union and the United States of America had really improved. Brezhnev seemed to be a man of peace who you could work with. He had previously signed SALT I with Nixon, which had limited nuclear arms. SALT means Strategic Arms Limitation Talks, so that's nuclear weapons reducing. So this is reducing tensions. And in 1975, the Helsinki Accords had been signed. There was a handshake in space. America was becoming more friendly with communist China, with ping-pong diplomacy. It seemed that the Cold War was ending. So both sides think, you know what, let's sign another SALT agreement. Let's reduce nuclear weapons even more. So this is what SALT 2 is. And it was signed in 1979 by American President Jimmy Carter and Soviet Premier Leonid Brezhnev. A key provision in this de-escalation was to ban new ICBMs. So that's really good. It seems that this is moving forward, right? Well, wrong. This isn't the most academic language, one that may support Millwall's attempt to get promoted this season. It was a massive flop. And the reason it was a massive flop was because it was never ratified by American Congress. Whilst President Carter did sign it, there was a turning point in relations and détente came to an end. And this is highly significant, highly significant. So even though SALT II is trying to reduce tensions, the actions of the Soviet Union with the invasion of Afghanistan, known as the Graveyard of Empires, in 1979 is a turning point and we get more hostile reactions. So SALT II is extremely limited in its objectives to create a more peaceful environment, an improvement in superpower relations between the USA and the Soviet Union. Now, a key limitation would be the Carter Doctrine in 1980. So, President Jimmy Carter basically says that if the Soviet Union attempts to take the Persian Gulf, he will defend it by any means necessary. Now, the Persian Gulf is stacked full of oil, just in case you don't know where it is. Okay, stacked full of oil, and it's obviously it's politically insignificant, it's world politically significant because of the extreme importance of oil to our international economy. President Reagan was elected on the mantra of getting tough on the Soviets in his election campaign. So the invasion of Afghanistan and limitation of the SALT II treaty clearly would show that an unfavourable age was coming. And that age would be an escalation in tensions under Ronald Reagan, who would initiate Star Wars, Reaganomics, and apply a lot of pressure to the Soviet Union. So can we see SALT II as a success? Well, no, because of all the hostile actions which followed it.